I'm doing a full tutorial and we're going to make a half skeleton lady, and we're going to do this with only 3 paints. Hi Tanya. We are going to be using red, white, and black eyeshadow. That is all you need to do this tutorial. And of course you need your paintbrush. I would get a liner and then a round brush, you know, one like this. This is a size, what is it, a 4. I like these. Round brush, a liner. Which one is this? This is a 10. It's a good one. And then I have this. This is a 4. All that's the same as that one. Yay! Thank you for the stars, Tanya. I super appreciate it. If you have a multi-pack, throw that down on the table. And oh, Lily, you scared me. You scared me, Lily. And let's get started. Hi, Robin from Battleground, Washington. Awesome. So, don't forget to share. Thumbs up and share. And if you know anybody that has wanted to do a head, tag them in the comments. They could follow along on this tutorial. I'm going to try not to engage too much in the conversation so that I can make it more of a tutorial. I will look up, of course, and look at comments in case somebody has a question. Definitely, if you have a question, feel free to ask. But I'm mostly going to try to make this into a tutorial so that, you know, maybe if you want to come back later and do it, you can actually watch it without having to hear too much talking from me, because I can get pretty chatty. But I'm good and when it comes to just doing the tutorial by myself. So I'm going to try to do that tonight without talking too much. But I will definitely answer any questions you have. Hello, Jeannie. Okay, thank you all for joining. And I'm going to get started. So first of all, you're going to want a styrofoam head. You can pick the heads up at Michael's, Joann's, Hobby Lobby, wherever you want. Joann's has this style and Michael's does too. Hobby Lobby has mostly the long neck and then the really full featured heads, whatever you like. If you're going to be new to this and you want to follow along, I suggest you grab the same kind of head that I have. It'll be easier for you to follow along this way. To prep the heads, I actually have tutorials in my shop on how I prep the heads. There's some tips I do to get a really smooth finish. And if you go to my shop at creepyholidaystuff.com, there is a tutorial from like 2.5-3 years ago that's a really simple standard how I prep heads. And since then, I've learned a lot along the way. So I highly recommend the class replay. And that one tells you all the tips. And I show you everything I do to get a smooth surface. All of the supplies. I have material lists, PDFs for you to download. And also my paint preferences, my brush preferences. And you also get a bonus tutorial on how to do a half Jack and Sally. So I really recommend that. Okay. And you want to prep your head. And I will tell you that this base paint that I used for this head is by Ceramic Coat, and it's called Rosy Beige. You can use any color you would like for your base. Hi Lisa, good evening. And again, I'm going to try my best to make this a full tutorial for you and not get too chatty, other than answering questions and stuff. All right. Thank you, Jenny. Okay, so Rosy Beige, she's all ready to go, fully dry. And I recommend getting General Sketch and Wash pencils, because once you're done doing your design and painting, you just get a damp rag or a paper towel and it wipes right off. And then also you can wipe it off during what, you know, you don't have to worry about your pencil, because a lot of times some of the pencil, you have a hard time getting that off your head. So I recommend this kind, and you can get this at the hobby stores, craft stores, or even on Amazon. General's Sketch and Wash. Okay, you want black paint. These are acrylic paints, white paint, and red paint. That is all you need, these 3 paints, to do this. You'll also want black eyeshadow. You want a liner paintbrush and then a round brush. And then you want to have the black eyeshadow with a short, firm eyeshadow brush. And then also a blender. This is a size 6 blender. It's really helpful. But you definitely want this short one. You don't want a floppy eyeshadow brush because then you can't really get in there, okay? When you're done, you're going to want to spray your head as a finish. You're using eyeshadow, so I don't recommend using a brush on finish because, you know, I'll tap on brush on finish sometimes, but it just smears a lot. We will be putting some gloss brush on the half lip area and the eyes, but she will be sprayed afterwards to protect her and make sure the shadow don't go anywhere, okay? All right. Yes, Robin, general sketch and wash. Hi, Nina. So let me show you the design that we're being inspired to do. It's not going to look exactly the same, but this is what we're doing. So, whoops, sorry. Something like that. Okay, so let's get started. So we're going to start first by having the sectioned out for the skull part of the head. So I'm just going to lightly do right here in the center top of the head. I'm just going to do a few little jagged lines, nothing too crazy. And we're going to separate this section and come right here by the bridge of the nose, come around and then go down, and then you can do zigzags, whatever you want. There, that's it. Just that patch is going to be the skeleton part of the head. And while we're at it, find areas like the pointed part, or if you don't have one, go ahead and make a pointed part. And we're going to do little like cracks in the skull. So let me see if I can get closer for you so you can see better. Hi, Denise. Wow, that's like super close. Hopefully you can see okay. Oh, thank you. He was fun to make. All right. So I'm going to do little zigzags like cracks and then turn it into like a V up here. Makes it look cooler. And do a couple of those. Don't overdo it. Don't make too many. Just a few. Just like that. Then we could have one coming down her nose. And then a little tiny V right there. You don't want to come too far because we're going to do a thing on her nose. You'll see it in a second. And right here I'm going to come down and then V off that way. And then a little one here. Make this one a little longer. Maybe one more. There. Not too many because then it'll look just too much, okay? You don't want to overdo it. Can you guys let me know, please, if you could see this fine? Because I have a glare on my screen from the ring light and I can't really see the picture if you can see this, what I'm drawing. If you could just note there if you can see it. Alright. Now, this part of her eye is supposed to be a skull, right? So, right here, it's supposed to be like the brow bone of the styrofoam head. So, we're just going to go around, make a round. It doesn't even have to be perfectly round because it's a skull. And, you know, we don't have like straight circles. By the way, don't forget to share. I super appreciate it if you would share and thumbs up. Okay, so let's go around. And then there's a crease right here in the styrofoam. Just go right under that. Not a lot, just a little bit. And don't worry, like I said, you don't have to make a complete circle because it's a skull. It doesn't have to look like it. Georgie says yes. Lisa said yes. Okay, thank you. Perfect. Now, for this eye, well, actually, in this crease, let's go ahead and do our line, because she is going to have an eye here. It's not going to be all black. She's going to have an eye. Don't come all the way to the inside corner, just about right here. And then come up. And we're going to go, if you can see here, it bubbles like an eyelid. And it stops about right here. So we're going to go up about 3/4 of the way. We don't want these huge big eyeballs. And just come down to the inner corner there. Don't worry too much about the tear duct right now. And then just come right there to the end of the eye. We can adjust them as, you know, we start painting them, okay? Same thing over here. Don't start all the way in the corner. Just start about right there. Come up. This is going to be the sexy eye, the lady eye, not the skull eye. 3/4 of the way up. Let's come down. And more than likely, one eye is going to look bigger than the other. Don't worry about it. You could adjust it later. Unless it's like drastically a big difference. Okay. Like I could already see this one's bigger, but that's okay. We'll fix that. So look at your head straight on so that she's looking at you. And we're going to have the top of the eyeball covered under that lid and the bottom one just touching. And even a little hair of it can be, you know, underneath. If you have trouble, you know, figuring like, oh, you know, you're just do the whole circle. If it comes out above the line, don't worry about it. You'll be using a sketch and wash pencil and you just wipe it off. If that helps you to get the circle better, feel free to go above that line. So I'm looking straight on to make sure that the eyeball is not in any other direction because I want the eyes looking forward. So try not to leave huge gaps of the outline of the eyeball and the outside corner and inner corner. You don't want big amounts of the white showing because then it won't look that realistic, okay? You want to save that for like when they're looking off in different directions or they're startled or something like that. Or you just want to make a big-eyed head, face, you know, expression, whatever. See how I just came down to touch the bottom but the top is hidden underneath? Now that's quite a bit of eye over here. So when it comes time to paint, I'll do more. You know, I just kind of, and you round this outside a little bit. Don't leave it so pointy. And then the inner corner, we're just going to do a little curve. Come down and do a little curve because that's where the little tear duct's going to go. Okay. So that's one eyeball. Again, look at the head straight on. And do the same thing on the other side. I have to look at it, so sorry, I can't. If I show you, my eye will be in the wrong spot. And just kind of look back and forth and do your best to get them close in size and not really one way bigger than the other. It happens all the time, and you can adjust it. Don't worry. Don't get all upset. You can always fix stuff that messes up, okay? Hey, Kelly. And I want to just repeat, just so everybody knows, I'm doing a full tutorial on this head. So I'm going to look up and down for, you know, at the comments for any questions, but I don't want to engage too much in conversation only because it's a straight tutorial. So for anybody that wants to follow along, they won't have to listen to me talk because I can be a big chatterbox and I'm trying not to do that too much other than instruction. Just so you know, so I don't want you to think I'm ignoring you. But if you do have a question, don't worry. I will absolutely respond. Okay, just making sure you can see good. Okay, so let me get back to this. I'm just kind of adjusting the eye to make it look about the same size as the other one. It's close. All right, so now the pupil, we're just going to put the pupil there for reference because we'll probably adjust it. So I'm just going to put it dead on right there in the center. And I'm looking at her like she's looking at me so that, and it's really a good idea, you know, put the head in front of you, look at it, and picture her looking at you so that you make them as close to even as possible. All right, so now the nose. The nose is going to be similar to like the skeleton. We're going to do, here's the center, right down the center, okay? See where that is? Put a little dot right there, just above the point, because we're going to have a line coming up kind of curvy and then come down, and just a very slight curve, not all the way down the nostril, between the tip of the nose and the base of where the nostril is. You're going to go about halfway, because we want it kind of look a little bit dainty because it is a female. Thank you, Tanya, for saying that. Thank you. Hi, Gary. And now we're going to make this side, the line, a lot longer. So we're going to come up, and don't forget, add some curve to it, okay? Just a little curvy. Come up. What we have so far. And then come down. And again, you're coming in between the tip and the base. So come down and curve it. Come around. And also when you paint this part, you can adjust. Whoops, didn't want to do that. You can adjust it. See, that's why I like sketch and wash. Look how nicely that came off. Okay, so let me just do this little curve here. And don't worry, again, if your pencil, you go like, oh, whoa, a little too much, don't worry about that, because you can clean it off. Hold on, let me get my reference picture. I somehow just lost it. Okay. All right, so now we're going to start on the part that's, some people find a little hard, but it's actually pretty, it's not hard. And you're going to see how simple it is, and that's the skeleton teeth. First, before we start that, you want to find the very tip of the nose. Okay, you look at the tip of the nose, come straight down, and between the two lips, draw a line. You need that line, whether you're doing a half and half head or you're just painting a mouth. You need that line so that you can reference where the center is when you're doing your arches and stuff on the lips. Hold on, I need water. Okay, now this part of her mouth is going to have red lipsticks, so we're just going to go ahead and do her lips on this side. So we're going to start right here. So here's the bottom lip and the top lip, and there's a little indent that is the separation of the lips. Right above that, we're going to come up, and we're going to give her kind of a nice full top lip, and then kind of curve it down. You can see where the line faintly ends, so that'll be where it ends, about right there. And again, we can adjust it if we need to. And down here, right where the lip cups inward, we're going to come up, and we're going to meet it. Right in between, to separate the lips, we're just going to do, might even make her lips go a little bit outward more, so it's a little more balanced. Don't forget, stop right at that halfway line. So I did, see how I kind of curved up right there? Curved up and then went down and then came back up. It's an ever so slight curve in between the separation. Okay, now, ooh, the skeleton teeth. All right, so normally, you know, we have the two front teeth. We're obviously going to be missing one of those because hers will be hidden underneath her lip. So we're going to draw the first front tooth. We'll go close. A little closer for you. All right. So I'm just gonna Make the tooth, and it's a skeleton, so you want her a little bit creepy too, don't forget. You don't have to make these perfect, you know, square teeth. We want a little bit creepy-ish. Okay, so this is going to be a bigger, because, you know, it is a front tooth. Nothing too big. You don't want her to look like Pennywise. You're going to come upward just like this. So you're almost making like a candy corn, but you're not connecting the top. I'm sorry, and something you should do too with a pencil lightly, just so you can follow along with the shape, is make the line of where the teeth are going to go. So right where her lip is, we're going to do separation so that we have the top and the bottom, and we want them to curve like going, you know, back, not drastically, just a little bit. So we're going to follow along that line right there. All right, so now we're going to do another tooth. Another one. And you can make them like they're broken or cracked. They don't have to be perfect. Just kind of oblong shaped. And then as we get back further, we go a little wider. Come up. And I like to do, like with the back teeth, more like roots on the teeth. Instead of just going up like this, I'll do like a B. You'll see when I paint it. I think I probably should have added another tooth. I'm going up to, hold on, I'm curving too much. Give me a second. I want it to go down more. 1 second. I should have caught that right away, but I didn't. It's another reason why you want to use a washable pencil. Okay, sorry about that. So let me just, I want to come a little flatter out. There we go, a little lower, not so high. Hold on, I keep losing my reference picture, sorry. Let's see if I can move it and it can stay. 1 second. I'll use that one. Okay, back to the teethies. We'll make that one a little bit cracked. And come up. And I'm going to start on the wider ones. And then do that little V, like the roots. See what I mean? Can you see that? Okay. And we'll do another molar. That's what they're called, molars. I couldn't, for the life of me, I couldn't think, what the heck are they called? Molars. Alright, so we're going to do this first tooth kind of, I'm going to make it kind of slanted down like it's broke. And again, you just, this is like an upside down little candy corn. This one a little wider. And I don't count. I don't know how many teeth to do. I just do whatever looks fine. Just do whatever looks fine. Make sure you do a little trail off because it really adds to it and makes it look groovy. Then we start working on bigger tooth here. I'm going to go ahead and start adding the root, making the molars bigger. Okay, so that's the teeth, and let me see, right here on the last tooth, I'm just going to curve like I'm cupping underneath the cheekbone, and then coming up around the cheekbone, and then curve and connect to this right here. See that? Bottom tooth, just going to come up and just do that. We're just going to have a strip, just a strip of black. Okay. All right, so now I need her eyebrow. My belt sideways. All right, so here is that brow bone. You could actually feel it where it's supposed to be a brow bone. Go ahead and start just like right underneath that brow bone, and we're not going to do like this big old fancy arch and all that. Just going to go straight up to where the arch, that brow bone is, like you're doing your own eyebrows, kind of like this. You want to find where that arch will go. And then we're just going to bring it down. We're going to thicken them up when we paint them. But what's nice is this side we're not even going to worry about an eyebrow, so you don't have to worry about getting this side the same. Okay. Now she's going to have white, this shimmery, it's dang it, I got gold in there and I didn't want gold in there. It's supposed to be crystal frost, but I made the mistake of getting some gold in there, so there's a few gold flakes, but shoot. Hold on, let me get my other glitter. Let's continue. Hi, Candy. All right, so I grabbed this glitter. This is extra fine crystal diamond. I preferred the crystal frost because it has little specks of silver, but this will work too. So I'm going to use that, and I'll put this aside so I don't use that by mistake. So now I think that we are ready to go ahead and start outlining with black. So get your liner if you're doing this right now. Get your liner out. And let's start outlining. Oh, you know what I should do first before I do anything else? I should have thought of this. I should have did this already because it takes time to dry, dang it. We need to do the skull part. This area, we need to do it in white because if we wait, I'll have to sit and wait for it to dry. So I can do this first and then do the other stuff. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to quickly get a batch of this white on here. So I'm actually using a flat brush. I don't know, I think it's 1/2 inch, just so I can quickly get this paint on here nice and smooth without ridges. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention flat brush. You don't want to use a round brush or a liner for this because you'll have ridges. You don't want ridges, you want it smooth. I'm going to go ahead and paint over my circle for the eye. Just redo it. You already have a general idea of where it's going to go. This is going to need at least 2 coats, so I'll put this one on. I mean, I might be able to actually get by with 1 coat and then just shade it, because it is supposed to be a skull. I don't know. And I wish I thought of this too. I would recommend, actually, if you want more of a skull-like color, I would use vanilla. Vanilla would be a good color. Just go around the eye. Don't worry if you get into the eyeball, it's okay, because you can fix it. Everything can be fixed. If you get too frustrated while working on the head, walk away from it for a minute. I have to do that sometimes. It's weird. You can get caught up and it just, something's not going right, or you just can't make it look right. You walk away for a minute and you come back to it, and I tell you, sometimes it's like, wow, that's all I needed to do was just walk away for a minute. Okay, so trying to see where I did all these lines. And see how I got a ridge there? Get rid of those. You do not want those. Just kind of smooth out. It takes away from it. You don't want that. So I really hope that some of you try to do this head and show me, because I think you're going to be so happy with your results, and I would really love to see it. I have a community section on my page, Creepy Holiday Stuff, and you could share your pictures there if you decide to make it. I will be excited to see. Okay, so there is that coat. Yeah, I think one more. I'll come back to it and do one more. It dries super fast, and I actually have a fan going on behind me, so we won't have to wait long at all. So while that is drying, we're going to move on to the outlining. Go ahead and start up here on these cracks on the skull. So just get your liner and follow what you drew. Go right along. And when you're painting, you can even add a few more little zigzags. If you can, trail off that little tip. It even looks better the pointier it is. She will be perfect for your Halloween decor, or if you want to make her, and sell her. Somebody might want to buy her and do something with her. Or it would make a great gift for a friend or family. Halloween's just right around the corner. Remember, don't overdo the cracks. Just pick a few areas. I have 5. You don't need to do more than that. Okay, so let's do the outline, the eyeball. Don't worry if it looks kind of too thick or too thin in areas. It can all be adjusted. Whoa, got too much paint on there. That's okay though. I told you we only need 3 colors: white, red, black, and black eyeshadow, but you're also going to want red eyeshadow. So if you made a list to do this, add red eyeshadow. Okay? I'm not going to paint the outline of that eye yet. I'll go ahead and do the eyeball. I want to wait till I get my second coat of white. We'll just do this for reference. And it's not going to take long. It's not a long head to make. And then take your round brush, dampen your brush, and then dab it on a towel. You got to be careful that you don't get too much water on your brush. You might dab it on the towel and you don't realize you have a little bit of water, and when you go to do this, the water goes right down and then it goes immediately. Dab it. If you want to save it, dab it. If it happens to get everywhere, don't worry. If you can't wipe it off, then just base paint over and over till you get it off. Don't worry, just never get upset and worry. Okay, there's her nose. Let's do her eyebrow now. So with your round brush, this one is a 4. You can actually make it as thin as you want, as thick as you want, however you want. Come right to the beginning and push down, and then just come right up. That'll give us thicker eyebrow. And you can release that pushing down as you come up by the arch. And just follow it along and pull up. Pull up. See how I pulled up? And my pinky is helping control that. So I'm coming around like this. I come down and I'm pull up. Pull up. If you have trouble doing that, you can go ahead and use a liner to kind of fix that. And I'm just going to kind of adjust this a little more. And I want it curved right there. I don't want a sharp arch. So I'm just going to, whoops, see, messed up right there, but I'll fix it. I'll show you. I want to come around and just curve it. There we go. So you can shape however you want, however thin, however thick. What's nicer is if you go a little bit thick and you start out a little low here, you don't have too much eyelid to work with eyeshadow. Because we're going to do glitter right here for the eyelid, but right above that we're going to put some black eyeshadow. So if you have too much space there, you know, it's like, oh, and then you want to fill it in. And okay, let me go back to my reference. All right, so I'm going to take my liner. I'm going to actually give her a wing, a little bit of a wing. So I'm just going to, not too much. Come up right here. And then just like that. Like you're doing your own makeup if you give yourself wings. And then we can thicken up this top to make it look like eyeliner. It'll complement the glitter more if you have that heavy eyeline. you're going to need lashes. Okay, you need lashes for this too. All right, so I think now let me move into outlining. I should have painted these white first, but let me just get the tops of the teeth. Remember, do little curves on these molars. And this one's going to be kind of broke looking. Hi Debbie, thanks for popping in. Doing a full tutorial on this head. Okay. And just kind of, when I come down, I'm lifting my brush a little bit. I don't want straight, you know, strong lines. I hope so, Candy. Hope so. Kind of lift up. So you get a kind of a wisp. A little trailed off wisp. Flip it over. Same thing. Don't have a lot of paint on your brush. You'll regret it. But it's okay. Fix anything that goes wrong. I'm going to add a little, very light, because we're going to be using black eyeshadow, so don't go so heavy on the paint here. Just give these molars some roots. Maybe this one could have a little root. Okay, all in between the teeth, you're just going to fill it in with black. Have you ever outlined with an ultra thin Sharpie? I use Posca Pins, and they're absolutely fabulous. And a lot of people prefer to use them over the brushes. I just have a preference for actually painting with a brush. But the ultra thin liners would be really, really convenient. There's a lot of situations where, you know, it would probably come in really handy. Okay, so I want to keep that separation right there. And then I'm just running the liner right in between the very top part of where the teeth are. That's it. We're going to give that, let me fix the camera for you. Give that a second to dry. I'm going to take my other, no, I'm going to take this one. Wait, I have a number 2 somewhere. Hold on. This one is a 2. I'm sorry, hold on. You could just come back here, use this bathroom. You could come back here. Here's my number 2. Okay, so now I'm going to take the white. How do you spell the name of the brushes? Do you mean the brands of the brushes? Fran, I use different brands. Like this is a Craft Smart. This is a Marie's. They're different brands. I like to go to Michael's, and Michael's has all their paint in one section, and then they have a bunch of little like multi-packs and or packs of liners, which work great. You know, you could get those. I like to go actually mostly for my liners, is to go where they have the canvases. If you go where the canvases are, then you're gonna find where they have the individual paint brushes based on like acrylic painting, watercolor, oil, and you'll find brushes there, and they're different names. Oh, let me see. I don't know. There's so many different brands. I'm kind of the type of person that just goes and I look at the brush part, and it's like, if that's what I want, I get. I don't even look at the brand. Only when it comes to my pencil, I look at the brand. Sorry, Heather, had to turn my sound off. Zoe, here's your dog. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, they're always inside and they're out there because I'm busy with a live, so they're like not happy right now. Okay, so this part, I'm just going to take the white and I'm going to follow along my outline there in pencil. I know you're like, what are you doing? Why is it white? You'll see. This is what I do. Start out with a white outline. Okay. And we're going to let that dry. I'm not even going to worry about that one. Okay, so now it's time to go in really quick and do my last coat on this skull part. Again, they dry so fast, so we won't have to wait that long. We could start working on the eyeball. While this is drying. And make sure you let the paint dry fully. If you don't let it dry fully and you put another coat, you're going to start having problems with cracking. Let it dry. Let it dry. Nothing worse than doing a head and it looks super awesome and you're like, oh my god, I love this. You go look at it later and you got cracks. Don't do it, trust me. Okay, Candy. Okay. Again, anybody just popping in, I'm doing a full tutorial on this head, and I'm looking up every so often just to see if there's any questions. Definitely have questions, ask. But I'm trying to make it more of a instruction for you if you actually want to come back and watch it and do it, so you don't have to listen to me talk about everything else. Normally this is what I do for my group. Once in a blue moon I'll do one on here, and I thought, you know what, I think I'm going to do a full tutorial, full instruction. Alright, so almost there, almost there. Just watch out for those ridges because it'll really mess up. Takes away. Just smooth them out by doing that if you have any. That just means you got a little too much paint on your brush. Started with a P. Are you talking about a brush that I talked about that starts with a P? I'm sorry, I'm not sure. Does anybody know? I don't remember. I talked about the blender, which is a size 6 blender. Then your makeup brushes for eyeshadow. A half inch flat brush. Started with a P. I'm not sure. My brain always screws up, so I'm sorry. I'm not sure. Oh. Tanya just said I'm thinking paintbrushes. You were talking about the Posca pins. Tanya just said Posca pins. That's what they are. Posca pins. I'm sorry. Yeah, they're little paint pins. It's Posca pins. See, sometimes my brain just goes. I was just instantly. I know all the time, right? I was just instantly thinking paintbrushes, not pens. So yes, they're Posca pins, and I have. I probably have like 5 of them, and I don't know, just don't use them that much, but they are absolutely fabulous. I can't complain. I'm very iffy with them when it comes to doing my finish, because I know some people, like a lady in my group, has no problem putting the brush on over them. Me, I put brush on over it and it's smeared. It's a hit and miss for me, so I'm really cautious. I would try spraying it just in case, because the last thing you want to do is, you know, have this awesome head and then end up smearing it, right? So be careful there. That's just my personal opinion. All right. Just don't want this too blotchy.
Are you doing my sponge or white?
White.
Okay.
Some white, because she's half skull. I'm doing a full tutorial on it. Okay, so while that's happening, actually, before I do the eye, I'm going to go in with my number 2 round. And I'm going to do the white on the teeth. So
you're not going to have it be a skull eye on that side?
it's half skull and half. This side is skull and this
yeah,
side.
but she has a regular eye on that side.
I know. This is a request. So that the design I'm getting similar to has 2 eyeballs.
Oh, okay. I see.
And just trail off. Kind of pull your brush down, like where the roots are, just kind of wispy. You have to dab the sealer on the paint pens. Yeah, it's the same as if you have eyeshadow and you have to dab. If you dab the sealer on the eyeshadow, you have a better chance of it not smearing. However, the brush will pick up some of the shadow. I just, like I said, just me, I don't have a lot of great luck with the paint pens. But they're super awesome for detail. Definitely. I probably should have made her teeth a little bit more closed, but it's okay. I thought it was a brush. No, Fran, it's a paint pen. Where do you get your photos? Oh, for inspiration on designs? Robin, is that what you're asking? Good night, Denise. Thanks for being here. I know it's probably getting late over on the East Coast. Robin, if you're asking about the photos that I use for inspiration, or like that was sent to me for the lady that wanted something similar, Pinterest is your best. There's so many awesome designs on there. You can look at different designs and, you know, grab a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and make your own creation. Or if you're going to follow one, you know, just however. See how I'm just wisping up? I'm lifting as I come up this way. instead of going this way. That gives you a wispy. So you don't, because you don't want a straight white line. You want it to lighten as you come up. Now, if it looks like the teeth are too far apart, just make them a little longer. You can bring down like these. I think I'm going to bring them down a little bit. So I'm just going to add a little to it right here. Just a little, just so they're brought down. That. I just now got on here. What did I miss on here? Hi Lynn, I'm doing a full head tutorial on this Halloween design. So if you would like to try making one, this will be the perfect tutorial because it's from beginning till end. Now, I don't do the prepping of the heads here on my page. If you go to my website, creepyholidaystuff.com, I do have some tutorials, and there's a class replay on there that's I highly recommend. I'll show you everything you need to know and all the little tips and secrets I use to get that special smooth surface. And it's the class replay one. There's a tutorial on there that's how to get a smooth finish, but it's like 2.5, 3 years old, and it doesn't have the tips. A little more work to that one. I learned a lot along the way from trial and error, and I mean, working with my group, you know, I learned a lot from my group too. I'm just bringing the teeth inward a little more because I feel like I had a little bit too much of a gap between the top and the bottom. I think it looks a little bit better when it's closer together, and I didn't realize I was just too far apart. Alright, so give that a second to dry, and we're going to move to use to do the lips. I use the Posca Pins and always had trouble with them. When you pump, sometimes they start leaking. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. I don't want to talk bad about them because, boy, I tell you, the liners are perfect for those really hard to get in small little areas if you feel more in control, like holding, a pen. But I've had a few bad lucks with it, so I just stick to the paint brushes. I mean, once in a blue moon, I'll use them, and I've used them in the past, but some people prefer them. So I'm going to be using Tuscan Red for the red on her lips. I use Prismacolor paint pens. Huh, I've never tried those. Prismacolor. I know it's like you have, I don't know, in my opinion, the pens you have, it feels like anyway, you have more control. But I'm just used to paint brushes, so. Oh, this huge old glob, disgusting. Hold on, cleaning it out of my lid because it's so gross. Looks like a blood clot. Oof. Watch your hands. Make sure your fingers don't have a bunch of paint that'll get all over the head. Alright, so now we're moving on. And I'm not going to outline the lips in black. I'm going to, I might do actually like a gradient after I get a couple of coats of red. That might look pretty sexy, so I think I might do that. But for now, I'm going to get my outline done. Not my outline, my coat done here. I'm not going to worry about the lip separation as of right now. filling it in. If you use a liner, you got to be really careful because you'll end up with ridges. You have to really smooth it out. So it's better to use, like, this is a four round. Now the lips have to come up to the teeth, right up there. They're happy they all came inside. My doggies, they brought them inside. That's good. So I won't be barking no more. Okay, so that's the first layer. Her arch is super heavy, and I don't like that. So that's the center of her nose. It's not making her arch proper. Okay, problem. I made the mistake. This was my fault. As I told you, you come down and you have your line. So the line was right there and I just messed that up. So now I'm gonna fix it. Let me find my, hold on, I gotta find my base paint. Oh, 1 second. 1 second. Alright, so there's the line. Her arch should start right there. It made her lips look super crooked. Okay, so now I'll go back with my liner and fix that. So just disregard all that stuff I just did. I'll have to put some shadowing to cover that. Alright, so while that is drying, we need to do the outline of the crack in the skull. Hold on, let me throw some. I kind of bounce around a little bit here, but just to let things dry. Let me get some white here in her eye so that it's almost dry when it's time to do her eyeballs. Make sure, and don't worry about going outside the line into the black. You could fix that later. Go ahead and bring that white up with your liner, and then you could, you know, fix any flaws. You just want to make sure you like tuck in there to the top and the bottom of the eye. It'll look better. Let's see how I went into the black. That's fine. I'll fix that later. So I get this coat on here. Now I am going to put a first coat because I'm going to make her eyes white and black. So I'm going to get my first coat in the eyeball also. So I do the outline of this eye. And don't go too heavy on your pencil because it will mix in with your paint. Don't want to do that. All right. Hold on. Let me outline this eye, then I'll outline all that. I better use my liner. What am I doing? Where's my... I tell you, do not leave your liners in the water. Leave them in the water too long. Oh my God. You end up with this little like hook. You mess up your liners. I try to make it a habit not to leave them in there, but sometimes I'm bad and I do. That's why I'm always going through liners. So just going around. This is going to have the skeleton eyeball part around it, so it doesn't have to look 100% like the other eye, but close. Okay, and this one, I'll just do this outline, get it over with first. I'm just gonna get this over with. Just follow right along. Make sure you get your points. Brush pins by Tombow. I've never heard of those, Nina. Such a great job. Oh, thank you, Lynn. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hopefully she'll look pretty groovy when she's done. Okay. Let's see. I just realized that in that picture, it kind of is down here is all skull too that she wanted. Huh. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna do this. I don't know how I didn't catch that. I just caught it right now. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna start right here where the lip and the tooth come together, right there. And let's just kind of do one line there, and then we'll just let it trail off. Go ahead and add one little tiny crack. It's kind of weird how that is, but anyway, that's how it was. The design is done, so that's what we're gonna stick to. Alright, so now I'm gonna paint that circle around. Well, I'll draw it first. So where that brow bone is, remember we did it. Let me zoom out a little bit. Oh, it's not so close. There we go. Okay, so where the brow bone is, we're just going to kind of go around, and it doesn't have to be a perfect circle because it's a skull. We don't want it to be perfect circle. And there's you know, the indent here where we have the bottom eye line. You're going to come under it and then come up, and I would like not perfectly straight, but kind of, you know, a little bit like curve it there, but a little flat, just to give it more of a, I mean, this skull, look at this skull. This is the one I did today in the other live, but you see how it's flat here and then it curves, just something like that. You don't need a complete circle. If you do a complete circle, it's going to look like that dog spot, you know, the circle. You don't want that. You want it to look more like a skull. Okay, good enough. So, yikes, what was that just fell? Oh, it was the lid. One second. All right. I'm taking, what is this? This is a, I don't know what it is. I think it's a 2. I don't know. It's huge. No, it's a 4. I don't know. It's a round brush, so I get more coverage. We're just going to black it out. And then don't forget, get rid of any ridges. Okay. We're getting there, slowly but surely. All right. I'm gonna do one more coat on her lips, and then I'm gonna go change my water to my brushes. And the reason why is because that black, it's really heavy in there, and I don't want to end up messing up, because when it has so much of the black in the water and you're cleaning your brushes, you might end up a little bit. I just prefer not to. Why did I just grab this? I was gonna do red lips. I just dipped it inside of the white. So I have a heavy mixture in there between the white and the black, and I only put like this much water in my cup. So okay, so we're gonna actually, you know what, let me do the gradient on the lips. I might have to wait till I do this coat first. I don't know. Let's see. I think so. I'll do this coat first. Now, if you have trouble blending, go and get yourself some Folk Art blending gel. It looks like this. Ooh, there you go. Mine is pretty messed up. Excuse me. That'll help you for the gradient on the lips if you have trouble blending. I'm going to show you how I do it, because I don't really like to use the blending gel. I use it sometimes, but the reason why I don't like to use it all the time is because it just keeps blending, it keeps your brush moist, the paint moist, it just, so that you can continue blending, and that's what it's for. But for example, like when I'm doing my eyes, it's like, okay, I don't want you to blend no more, you know. And if you have blending gel, that's what it's made for. Oh my God, is there something on my glasses? What the heck? You'll see, I just picked up this pair 2 days ago. I thought I had a big old scratch on there. I don't know how, but it looks like paint went up inside the glass. Crazy. Okay. But I'm going to let this second coat dry on the lips, and then we'll do that gradient with the black. And I'll show you how I do it without using the blending gel. How it works for me. I already got to go pee again, dang it. Those dang water pills. All right. Before I change that water, let me just do a little bit of shadowing on the mouth. I don't like to do the eyeshadow too soon because then it gets on my fingers and it gets all over the head. Don't be like me. I have 3 jars with water on my table. I always have my 1 jar. But oh my God, I just, this happens to your liners. They get all curvy if you leave them in there. You don't want to leave them in there. And I always do. All right, let's do some shadowing. I use Jeffree Star. Don't use an expensive palette. I bought this because it was like, ooh, and it looks stupid on me. So now I use it on my heads. You don't need an expensive palette. Any black eyeshadow will do. So I'm going to take the short, firm eyeshadow brush. And I'm dipping it in the eyeshadow. Now you want to make sure that when you're using the eyeshadow, make sure that you blow it off. Hold on, I'm trying to get my inspo picture. Actually, let me get the one that I really like on, that's my head from, I think Lisa or Cindy got this head. I really love the way I did her teeth. So I always refer back to her. Where did she go? What happened? Sorry, just a minute. There's a reference picture I'm trying to get to that I prefer. I think I deleted it off my camera. Dang it. One second. There it is. I just love that one. Didn't Cindy or Lisa? I know one of you got it, I think. One of you. Anyway, I love the teeth on there. It turned out nice. Okay, so I have my eyeshadow in here. And I'm going to start up in between where the teeth meet each other. And wispy motion again, okay? Make sure your paint is dry. You could turn the head upside down or just do it, you know, yourself. Whoops. If it gets where you don't want it, just damp rag, wipe it off. Blow on it. And we're just starting out with wisp. Go darker up in this area. Now we're rubbing it in. Just going all in between those. In between the little V's. So we're going to leave it like that for a moment. Alright, so this is what I was doing. Got the black eyeshadow on the eyeshadow brush. And right here in the middle of the white line. Well, she is on the bathroom break. Where is everyone from? In the middle of the white line, I'm going to push not hard. I'm just going right down the middle of the line. Open this. I don't know why I didn't open it. Get your fingers and have a rag to wipe them off so you don't get shadow everywhere, because I got to clean that up right there. Okay, we're just going right down the middle. Now that you did that, you're going to come back, go right underneath it. See how it's going everywhere? Don't let it like freak you out. Oh my gosh, like see I have white paint. I'll clean all that afterwards. It can just get very messy. I usually really prefer to save it for the last because it is super messy. But it's kind of exciting to do this part because it's when you start working on, you know, getting that shadowy look, and you could really see more of the skull look. You can also get this blender and just kind of really get it in there and get it in there. Go over right up to the edge of the white. Just so very little is showing. Okay. This confuses me a little bit having this part because usually I end it here, but I don't know, we'll see what it looks like. I should get the picture out. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. Now, with eyeshadow too, you'll have like a blotchy look, but it looks good with a skull, you know. It just gives a good look. I like the way it looks. See, my pinky is just really dirtying it all up. Now I'll take the blender and just blend it into each other. Come down. And you just like soften out this area. It doesn't have to be perfect line. You want it kind of shadowing. This is confusing to me. So I'm thinking, let me think here. Regular skull has the chin and it comes up, so that makes it a little weird. I'm going to try something. Let me see. This is unexpected to me. Wasn't ready for that, so hold on. Even though the top is white, I'm going to use this fluffy little, I guess like a highlighter brush, and I'm going to see what it does. If I can just like whiten up the area like this. Just to kind of blend it in. I don't want to paint the white here. You know, I don't want to do that because I already got my shadowing. I like that. It's working fine for me. I'm going to go ahead and shadow with the white up here. Like the jawbone, I guess. Actually, okay, I was going to clean that right now, but I stopped because I want to let you know that if your head is wet and then you go in there with eyeshadow, it'll mess it up. So I got to clean that later. Do not put eyeshadow over wet paint or wet wet head, something you've wiped already. Don't do it. Okay. Now right here, just going to kind of whiten just right around that outline, just a little bit. Just barely, because that's supposed to be regular head. Okay, then I'll come back. I lost some of it there. Now you can also do a little bit of shading. You should add some creepy, scary Halloween music to this video whenever you are having your video. You know, I have thought about that, but I always hear with the music that you could get in trouble and they could shut your live down. And then I hear some people saying, oh, just play it really fast. So I'm not sure how that works. So take your shadow and just like a little bit, just a little on the top part. You could even do some, you know, a little bit on the side. Kind of makes it look a little better. Okay, so we have so far. Don't forget to share if you haven't shared. I would love it if you shared, and thumbs up. All right, let me do another coat of black. We are finishing this head, everybody. We're getting it done tonight. No part 2 on this one. Okay. Actually, since I got the shadow out, might as well shadow it. So we're going to shadow the, also the skull eyeball. We want to shadow that as well. We'll see. 1 second. I keep losing. There it is. Okay, so first I'm going to start right around the right where the white is touching the black. Oh wait, let me clean my pinky. Music on one of my videos on Facebook smacked me. Yeah, see, I'm worried about that too. However, you see all these ladies that do makeup tutorials and they got this music blasting in the background, so I don't know how they get away with it. Maybe because they have like hundreds of thousands of followers? I don't know. Play it on low in the background where it's not louder than your voice, so we will be able to hear you talking in the hallway. No, they won't let you. They shouldn't have no problem with the music not being loud at all. I don't know. Maybe we can do a live and I'll plan on trying it. And then if they shut me down, then I won't do it again. As long as I don't get in trouble for it. Okay. So I'm just going to come around. Part of my brush is in the black and part of it is in the white. Thank you, Patricia. Super appreciate it. Thank you so much. Disclaimers that they don't own the rights. Might give it a try, Tanya. We'll see. Shadowing all along this. Okay, now I'm going to get... hold on a second. Okay, I told you you didn't need another brush, but I'm going to get another one. This one is just a fluffier. Actually, that's too big. Ignore what I just showed you. This one is a firmer, shorter, but a little bit fluffy. Not super fluffy, you see. Just enough so I could grab a little bit more. So I'm going to dab it in the eyeshadow and just kind of gently go around. Just gently. Tilbear, leave it. Gotta be careful, start blotching on you like that. I don't want that. Okay, it's good enough there for now. Might as well keep going with this shadowing while I have it out. And we're gonna go shadow right here. We're gonna be part on the black line right up against it. And you're gonna push hard to get a nice shadow on there. Go over the edges with my blender. Just like this. I should do the week of Halloween. I should do 5 nights of Halloween and do 5 tutorials. Wouldn't that be cool? Or no, then I'll end up with 5 heads for Halloween. And then Halloween will be over and I'll be stuck with heads. I don't know if I'll do that. Okay. I don't think anybody will want heads after Halloween. Or that close to Halloween. So we're creating that depth. Make it look like there's shadow. You should just ask David about playing music then to have a wait for an answer on Facebook. Damon would probably give me the answer. He might give somebody else. I don't know. Somebody know him enough to ask him? I don't really know him. But he would definitely know. I just want to darken this up here. A little more. Okay. All right. Why does that not look like rosy beige? Oh my god, this is not rosy beige. This is not rosy beige. This is natural beige. This is Ceramic Hope Natural Beige. Sorry about that. Shoot. Can't believe it. I just discovered that when I looked at, remember when I fixed that little flaw right there? It's natural beige. It's okay, I'll fix that later. Okay, before I do any more shadowing, because there is more shadowing to do, I gotta get working on her eyeball. Let's do her eyeball. All this shadow everywhere. I'm gonna flip my paper over because it just makes a mess. So you want a round brush and a liner. We're gonna use white and we're gonna use white and we're gonna use black. Use white. Somebody asked Damon. He's leaving on a trip at 6:30 in the morning. Oh, he's probably sleeping. Isn't he like 3 hours difference from me? Because I'm California. Right now it's 8:37 p.m. So he's probably sleeping. Her nose. Yes, this right here has to get cleaned. I have to clean up here and here and that too. I can do her nose. I can do her nose right now. It's the eyeshadow. Dang eyeshadow. Might as well do that too. All right. Okay. Okay, I don't need red. I'm going to use red shadow for that. Shoot, how long have I been muted? Oh no. Darn it. Heather, I left an offline message for you. I will let you know what she says when she gets back to me. Thank you so much. I am so sorry. My mute button was pushed. I must have bumped it. Oh my goodness. How long have you not been able to hear me? Oh no. Right when I started the eye, is that when I was muted? Doggone it. Sorry about that. So I'm just going to, just since I started the eye. All right, so I used the black paint and went around the outline, and then I took the white and I went around right next to the black outline. And then while the paint is still wet, if it dries, hurry up and get some more. You're just going to pull in little short and long lines all the way around. Just do that maybe twice. And then stop. You got that part done. Now we're going to come back to the black and let's fill in this pupil. I'm just wiping off the excess paint, okay? I'm going to grab a little dab of the white to go around the pupil. I'm going to set that aside. Take my liner and I'm just going to pull a little bit, just a touch of the black of the pupil into the white that I just put there. Now, if you end up pulling too much and it's too thick and it looks stupid, don't worry, just get some white and put it back in there and start over. Okay, so now I'm switching back to my liner totally, and I'm going over the black line again, wiping off the excess on my rag, and then pulling in again. Oh my god, it's drying fast with this freaking fan behind me. We had a really hot day, so it's hot in here. So black line again, wipe off excess, go around, use your liner, pull in little pieces. I'm only doing half the eye right now because it's drying so quick on me. Come back, don't worry about cleaning your brush, get some white, go right in between the outline and the pupil and just do some white lines. Okay. Get your round brush that you were just using damp, and then wipe the water off and just kind of pull in. If you're seeing too much white come in, like taking over, grab a little black, like right here. I'm going to grab a little black, and then I'm just going to pull that in. Okay, super easy, just like that. And then wipe around, the side. Clean up your outline so that you don't have a bunch of white lines in there. Hold on, but good night. Now I lost sound too. Must be behind a border. Oh, okay. Good night, Debbie. Sorry about that. I accidentally hit my mute button. Heather, it is not allowed and never has been. She sent more information on it, but too much to type. I will copy and paste it to you, Messenger. Oh, okay, thank you. I don't know. Some people just are lucky, I guess, and go under the radar and get away with it. Isn't that weird? I know it's probably super late for a lot of you. I'll leave this replay up if you're tired. Don't worry. Okay, so I'm going to go over this outline here. Wipe off the excess and pull in. Oh, I got a little bit too much black right there. Pull in. So I'm going to grab some white. And every time I put the brush down, I'm just wiping the excess off. Yeah, there's probably a long lag. If you go out and come back in, it might fix itself. So I just realized those lines are going the wrong direction. This way. And you can kind of just keep going back and forth with your white and black until you're happy with the way the eye looks. And just make sure you clean up your outline. So that's kind of a look I'm digging. I'm liking it. Just going to touch up my pupil in the middle and then touch up my outline. Just like that. She needs a little more pupil. We're going to do really simple highlight. There's many ways to highlight, but this is more of a simple way. Instead of trying to get too fancy, I mean, there's many ways you can do it. Thank you. That's the eye so far. So, look at your eyeball. Not the entire whole eye. Just the outline, the iris, and the pupil. Just the circle part. And picture it being a clock. Now, directly between the pupil and the iris, you're going to take your liner with some white, and between 10 and 11 you're going to put a dot. Might have put a little too much, but now between 4 and 5, between the pupil and the iris, you're going to put a smaller dot. Just like that. Okay. I was a little heavy on that top highlight. I'm going to add a little bit black to it, just because I went a little too much in the center of the eyeball or pupil. I lost some of it. One second. We're going to do it again. Just remember between 10 and 11 and 4 and 5. Yeah, it's disappointing, but like I told you, if you make a flaw, you can just fix it. You can just redo it, and that's what we're doing right now. Fixing it. Actually made the pupil a little bigger. So, between 10 and 11, hold on, get my paint on here. Between 10 and 11, between the pupil and the iris, dot. Between 4 and 5, a tinier dot. Okay, her eye already has a lot of highlight in it. Light lavender would be pretty. It would be pretty. I did a head recently with lavender in the eyes, and it turned out gorgeous. This one I'm kind of following because it's actually for a customer, so I'm following along the picture. But lavender, absolutely beautiful. It's just like it's, and you find a lot of people selling trademarks when they are. Yeah, that's very true, Robin. Very true. Very true. I know if you go on TikTok, they have all those songs that people aren't supposed to be playing because copyright. So I don't know. I don't get it. All right, I gotta quickly come over here and do this eyeball. I was kind of tempted to do this eye different, but it's showing the same in the picture. Hold on, I need some more white. in there. Got some white in here. Make sure the eyes are close in size. You gotta make sure. Kind of close. And I just switch back between my liner and my round brush. Remember, we go around, short lines, long lines, short lines, long lines. Just like that. I kind of messed up right there. A little more. Short, long. Go in. This pupil is not even centered properly. Just centering it. And then wipe your brush off and then just pull a few little lines out. If you get very little, that's fine. Do the white lavender. Oh, that's a good idea, Nina. I might do that, a light lavender on this eyeball. Because this is the skeleton eyeball. Because I really love the lavender. It's pretty. So, got too much black there. It's coming in. This one's really heavy on the black. I gotta bring in some white. And I gotta get my color close before I add that lavender. Just go around. Let me get my round brush. The round one. It's just a really simple way to do eyes. You can make eyes look much more detailed and super awesome, but you know, this does the trick and it looks great. Looks great. What am I doing right now? Okay. Started getting confused for a second. Just go around my outline. Just fix this. Okay. I think I need a few more coming off here. Okay, and how Nina mentioned, I'm going to use let's see. I'm going to go straight, go in with my purple pizzazz because it will lighten up with the white. Hold on, this eye's a little too grainy. Let me fix the pupil. Okay, so purple pizzazz, we're going to come in and I'm going to do lines of purple pizzazz around the eye. Then I'm going to come in with a white. It's going to look different from the other one, of course, but we'll see how it looks with some white. Then I'm going to come back with black. Too much white. Go around the outline and then pull a little bit of it in so it blends into that purple. flip the head around and go around the outline. And pull in some. So she has one eye different color than the other one, but it kind of looks groovy. So I'm going to add just a touch more. Okay, let's do the highlight between 10 and 11. And 4 and 5. Simple. Ooh. Okay, now we're going to shadow the white of the eye. The white of the eye needs shadow to help give it, you know, more detail, more depth, more real. So we're going to take the black eyeshadow with the short stubby brush. Get a little bit on there, dab it on your rag. You know, don't go in too heavy. And you're just going to go around, blow around the outline of the eye. Then right on the very bottom. And then up on top, you can bring it a little bit off to the side. And we do the other side. Right around, just like that. Same with this one. I didn't put more white. I should have put more white, but that's okay. This one can look a little darker because it's her skeleton eye. You know what I mean? So we're darkening that one up a little bit more. Now I'm going to move to my red eyeshadow, and I'm going to use my little stubby paintbrush, just a little stubby one. It's like a little liner, but just old. I'm going to go into the red, and I'm going to come right here to the tear duct and just dab it. Bring it a little bit down around the eye line. Come over here right in that corner and come a little around the eye line. I'm going to go a little heavier here on the skeleton eye, and then a little heavier there. Not much showing there because that one's the creepy one. Okay, see the eye? Maybe a little bit more right there. Okay, we're getting there. We are getting there. Now I'm going to do some black eyeshadow right directly under her eye. Gotta blow on it when you're doing it. Flip it over. Get a nice good amount. Go right up to her wing. Okay. You guys still with me? Do you guys, are you still here? All right. God, it's already like 9 o'clock, but I'm ready to go get a soda. This is so awesome. You guys are hanging with me for this whole head. I love it. All right. Now, okay. This head, as I mentioned, we're going to do glitter, but they're also going to be shadowing, okay? So, you're going to take your pencil. so you know where you're going to do your glitter. So we're going to, of course, start here on the corner, okay? Yay, I'm so glad you guys are still here. And we're going to come up. This is going to be her eyelid. And then we're going to come down. Now I kind of want her eyeshadow, her glitter to end before the wing, and I want the wing to go a little further out. So I think I'm going to do it like this, okay? Whoa, too far. Just like that. Now that I have that, I'm going to take the black eyeshadow and I'm going to go right along this line and make sure, let me turn it this way because the fallout, you want to blow that fallout out. Patricia says, what brush are you using for shadowing and what pencil? I only use Sketch and Wash pencils by General. It's called General's Sketch and Wash. This is a number 588. I only use these because it comes right off the head with no problem. And I don't know anything about makeup brushes. I'm sorry, so I don't even know what it's called, but it is a short but firm, stubby brush that it's my favorite brush. And it works great. Okay, so I'm going to come right above, turn it upside down because the fallout. Blow on it, get rid of that fallout. And we're going to go right along that pencil I just did. I actually wish I had more space. I'm not happy with this space. I think I might go thicker. I'm talking about the glitter. I wanted more of a glitter to match. I gotta find out the designer, who this makeup artist is. I don't even know. Sometimes it's hard when you find an awesome design, but people share the pictures and you can't give credit for the inspiration because you don't know who did it. Okay, so I went a little higher than I wanted to, but that's because I want more of the glitter. So when I use glitter, I usually use the corresponding color of paint underneath, just in case, you know, glitter comes off. Never does, but it's always better to be careful. So I'm going to take my white. Should have shook it up because it's been a while. Take my white. Did I use this? Oh, I did. All my stars. I didn't put it back in there. Where's my number 2? Alright. So I'm going to put white right here where I plan on putting glitter. Follow along how I'm doing this. Do the glitter before you do the eyelashes. Trust me on that. Trust me on that. If you do the eyelashes and then do the glitter, you're going to have glitter stuck in those eyelashes that are not coming off. No matter what, they're not coming off. So that's where the glitter's going to be. That's where it's going to be, folks. That is where it's going to be. Now, on the design, she has the white going around. I'm not going to do it. At least change it up a hair. I really did a lot like her picture. I usually change them up. I'm going to let that dry for a minute. While that's drying, let's do the gradient. I totally forgot about the lip. Let me show you what we're going to do. Get out your red and black. Yay, Robin said still here. Okay, red and black. And what you're going to do first is you're going to get a good coat of your red on the lip. We'll do the top lip first. Okay, I gotta get done with this head by 9:30 because my son leaves for work and I always walk him out. Get the black paint and you're gonna do it like a liner. Easy, don't get carried away with it and end up with too much. Get your brush out that you just used for, that's not the one, I gotta work quick here. Gosh, doggone it, there it is. That you use the red. And get a little more right underneath of it. Just right underneath the black, okay? Now, bring in, just like you're doing the eyes, bring in that black all around, but barely. You're barely bringing it in, okay? Barely. Wipe off excess. Now smooth it out. Smooth it out. Wind up with a little too much black, come back in with your red. Get it back in there. You don't want to lose the red. This is called gradient, where the black blends into the red. Am I close enough for you guys to see? Now you're going to do the same thing on the bottom. You're going to, whoop, my brush is too much black in it. Don't have any black on your brush when you're putting your red in. Get your red. Grab your liner. Have you ever dipped the tip of the eyelashes in glitter? Yes, I have. A few times. And you're going to do the outline. It looks super cute. You just got to be careful not to put too much glue because then it clumps. But it looks super pretty. It's better to make your own because they charge too much when you buy the glittered lashes. It's like, don't buy those. You can make them yourself. So easy. Now, flip her over and you're going to pull in that black the same way we just did the top. Again, you have too much black, add more red. Have too much red, add more black. And just kind of smooth it out. And it's nice too if you make the edges darker with the black. Want to do that, you just get a little more black right here in the corners. Wipe off the excess, get a little red and pull it in. Now you could take, hold on. Take your liner. Be super careful doing this part. Very little, I mean very, very little black, okay? And do your lip separation. A little curve down, go up, and then curve it down a little bit, go into the corner. So a little curved down here, go up, and then back down. Kind of like this way, just for the lip separation. Quickly go in there, get some red, go right up against it, because you don't want it to look like just a straight line. You don't want that. You just want to look like there's a separation of the lips. But you got to be careful because it'll dry on you and you'll be stuck with that line. You want it to blend. This is when I said you could use blending gel. Oh, autofocus. Hold on. There we go. But if you do too much, it's just constantly blending and you can't, I don't know. I like it to reach a point where, okay, no more blending. I like that. But as soon as you touch it, it blends. Okay. So there it is. Is that groovy or what? Yes, me too, Nina. I really love it. It gives it a really cool look. Now, normally I would put like a highlight in the lip, but I think I'm going to leave it like that. I need one more coat of black on this nose. I'm not very happy with that first coat. I need one more. Okay. I think we're ready for some glitter. Wait a second. I said wait a second. There we go. Okay. So we're going to take, I'm just going to use regular clear tacky. This is by Eileen's Original Clear Gel Tacky Glue. I'm going to use this and wait a second. I had a brand new, okay, if you were here in the very beginning of the live when it first started, I was freaking out because my Crystal Frost, I ended up mixing it accidentally with some gold in there, so my Crystal Frost doesn't look right. So I'm like, great, I really wanted the Crystal Frost because it's white with some silver flakes. So I went and grabbed my Crystal Diamond, which is just regular white, sparkly, you know, extra fine. I just happened to turn my head. I tell you, I can't even count how much glitter I have, so I don't remember everything I have. And I have a brand new Crystal Frost right here. Yay! So that's what I want to use on the eye. So that is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to bring the camera down so you can see better what I'm doing here. I'm going to move these brushes out of my way. I'll put her this way so you can see. Hold her head with a paint. And I just use a liner so I can make sure I get in the corner there. Dip it in the tacky glue. And I'm just going to go right in that corner. But I'm not going to go over the black eyeline. I need that black eyeline for the eyelashes. Don't put too much of this. If it drips, it'll just be a mess. Just put enough to cover the eyeball. Go right up against that that eyeshadow that we just put there. Make sure you get in the corner. It's easier to move your glitter over instead of not having enough. If you don't have enough and trying to add more glitter, of course I have to do it every now and again, but it's a pain in the butt and it'll leave ridges sometimes. Okay, where's my glitter? Let's take my glitter and just pour it on there. It'll come out. Goodness, that was slow. Alright, and of course you want to tap it. Make sure you got a nice securely attached blow. Once you do that, you get a flat brush, preferably a flat angled brush. I prefer to use, just so I can get down in this nice little corner. Just kind of scoot stuff over. Most importantly, make sure you move it away from that eye line, because that eyelash is going to go there. If that's covered, you're going to have a really bumpy, hard to attach area for the lashes. Okay? Alright, so that'll take a little bit to dry. What I like to do, let me get rid of this glitter. I'm going to go ahead and glaze over. I'm going to use some Deco Art Triple Thick, and I'm just going to glaze over this eyeball. I love to do that because it just, I know I'm super close now. There we go. So you can really see the head better. This is what I love to use on my mouth, on my eyes, and I still spray the heads, but this gives it the realistic wet look. And it's okay. It's still wet when you do your eyelashes. It just means your eyelashes are going to grip better. Keep that glitter out of the eye best you can. I'm going to go ahead and add some over here, make these lips pop. And what's cool is you see how it just looks super wet, which it is wet, but it's going to dry this way. You're going to think it's still wet, but it's not. That's how cool it is. Okay, now there's shadow on here, so I have to dab very carefully. This first coat is just dab, because if you smear the eyeshadow, then the eye is going to look all funky. And then usually I'll dab the glitter, you know, when the glitter is when the glue is dry. Oh my gosh, I think it's time for an eyelash. Oh my god. So excited. Oh wait, her other eye. Can't leave this eyeball out. Can't leave this eyeball out. Don't put too much to where it drips. It'll just look yucky. It'll leave a bubble of it, and it'll mess up your work. Don't do it. Just kind of run your brush like right over it. Pick up any little area that wants to come down. All right. Oh my god, it's time for the eyelash. I'm so excited. Whoa. What time is it? Okay. I don't even remember what time I came live. I don't even know. But, so I said I was going to do a full tutorial. Let's see. I don't know if I want to use this one. This one, or who knows, maybe I want to double them up. I don't know. Let's see. We'll see. Okay, so there's that one. Ta-da. Let me make her closer. There's that one. That's pretty. You can really see the glitter nice. I do like thick though. I do like thick. Just hang there for a second. There's that one. I'm going to go with that one. That's the one. So for this, because I don't want to diddle-daddle around, I'm going to use my fast grab, which you got to be careful because sometimes the white shows up. You got to paint it. Doesn't want to dry nice and clear. So get some on the lash like that. I really got too much on this brush. I like to do a little layer, very fine layer on the eyeball so that the lash can adhere easier. Roll it between my fingers and just pop it on there. Sometimes you'll get lashes that give you trouble. Take a breather and walk away if it does. I've had to do that a lot. Where's my brush with an angle? I prefer those to really get a nice. Hold on, it's my husband. Let me tell him I'm live. I'm live right now. I'm just about finished. Okay, we'll talk about that when I get you. I gotta go. I'm live. Okay, bye. Okay, my husband, he's calling me, telling me, hey, let's go to Hawaii for Christmas. Jesus. All right, I take a clean brush and I just kind of clean the paint, or not the paint, the glue that is too much. I turn it upside down. I make sure I have a connection because sometimes you'll not be connected in the very center, but you'll be connected right here. So you got to be careful. Use your angle or something to kind of lift it up. Okay. Gonna check something. Gonna check something. 1 second. If I cut this part. That part right there. I take a bottom lash. See how this looks. You measure and cut off any excess. Sometimes I use a bottom lash, sometimes I don't. And I think that she would look fabulous, but we'll see. We'll see. I like the big. Go big or go home. Are you going to shadow around the nose? I rarely full with the nose. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I'm thinking no, just for the fact that I'm using this. And I don't know, I'd hate to widen it by doing the shadowing, but if you're doing this tutorial, you might want to give it a try. If you like shadowing, I'm not good at messing with the nose. I'm the first to tell you. And I do it every so often, but I try to avoid it because I'm not good at it. But sometimes I have to. Oh, thank you, Raider Lady. Thank you. That's very sweet. So yes, any of you that's going to be following this tutorial, if you want to shadow the nose, definitely, definitely shadow it if you want. Some people prefer to do the nose because they don't feel it looks complete without it, but the majority, I think people are just used to it now. The majority of my heads, I don't mess with the nose. But you can take your little eyeshadow brush and just kind of do little, but I think I'm going to keep her like that. Thank you, Nina. Oh dang, it doesn't want to, it's probably going to stick. Eek. It doesn't want to connect down there. Hold on. It's not over yet. Not over yet. Okay. Even though that's the skeleton side, I feel, shit, what eyelash did I use? Oh, okay. I feel like it's a little bit naked without eyelash on this side, so. You can't really see it, but it looks too bald without it. So I'm going to put it on there because it doesn't look right without it. Sometimes I don't, but God, this glue dries super fast. Too much. Just go here. Not even really coming off on there. I didn't roll it between my fingers, so it's being a little milk. Little milk. So I just wipe it with a clean brush, because otherwise I'm stuck having to paint it. I'll probably have to paint it anyway. Okay. You can see that lash on the left looks very pretty on. Thank you. Yeah, without it, she just looked a little too bald. So now, okay, don't forget, this is something, I've seen some people do this. So when you're doing the bottom lashes, make sure they're pointed down. This darn thing just lifted up on me because I took my eye away. Okay. Make sure you put the eyelashes down, okay? The bottom ones go down. Also, so normally like this lash would go on this eye, right? But when you're using it for a bottom, you're going to use this one for the opposite eye. This one would go on the right eye, this one would go on the left. So I'm taking the one that normally would go on this eye, I'm taking it, flipping it over, and I'm going to use it on this eye. But I'm going to cut to, is this the one I use? Crap balls. I'm getting confused. Okay, no. Yeah, I'm right. Okay, I'm sorry. I was getting so confused right now because there are two different style of eyelashes. Okay, so I'm going to cut this part off because it's so it matches the other side. And then I put it right here underneath. shoot, it's 9:30. Wow, I'm gonna be just like done perfect timing so I can walk my son out. Can you believe that? That's awesome. All right, please cooperate, Lash. There we go. Let me get a little more glue. Stick it on there. Ta-da! Hold on, this glue is drying, so before I can... I just don't want to change it up too much because she's an order. But that's one thing when you're doing the... when you see it in person, you can see the eyelash, but a lot of times online you can't see it that well on my video. But yeah, I don't change it up too much when it's actually in order. There she is. Wow. I think this was a 2-hour tutorial, I think. Usually average is an hour and a half, but I did chat a little bit. I hope you guys enjoyed. If I would love for you all to come and check out my group. It's $20 a month. You have a chance. You can cancel at any time. You have immediate access to 80 plus pre-recorded tutorials, also 80 plus live group videos. It's a lot of fun. I have a pin post with all the information, and you'll learn to do things just how I did tonight is how I do my tutorials for my group. Would love to have you all in there. Check it out. This was fun. And if you have any questions, please feel free to message me anytime. And I honestly would love to see, if you guys did this head, I would really love to see it if you worked off the tutorial. In the community section of my page, just post a picture if you do decide to do it. I'd love to see it. And this is inspired by a Pinterest post. I don't know the gal's, the designer of her, but let me give her credit. I don't know. I don't know who she is, but she's a beautiful model. There she is. She did some stuff up here different. I just didn't do. I didn't want to do that. I did my thingy a little different, but it's pretty close. You can tell that's what I was working towards. But anyway, thank you. Tip the lash tips and the glitter. Yeah, I'm gonna ask. I'll ask the gal that's ordering her and see if she'd like that. But it would look pretty with that crystal frost dip for sure, Nina. So there she is. Da-da. All right. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful night. I will talk to you all later. Thank you all who shared. I super appreciate it. Bye-bye.